Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here. We got a list of 9 properties on the Toronto system, 2 more on the Oakville system. And if you've just tuned in, if you haven't watched our videos for a while, what happened is a couple months ago, the 2 real estate boards that have the source information, this is the stuff we log into and see as agents, they split, they stop sharing information. So what you see is on the public sites like realtor.ca, you're going to see that some of them are overlaps, so they'll be listed on one and the other board, and you'll see 2 listings. Some of them are just on one or the other. So we end up having to review from 2 different source materials. So when we do a value assessment on a property, same thing, we got to do 2 sets of research. Probably not something that will be forever. I know a lot of the agents are upset about it, but it's something we deal with now. And so we just, below the video, we're going to put 2 links. We're going to put almost a toolbar style where you can look at one and then look at the other after. So we're going to start off today with 1491 Maple, number 301. It's a Windsor model. It's about 1,000 square feet. You know, it's laminate floors. It's got some decent views. That's the James Snow Parkway just on the other side of the pond here. Yeah, it's decent inside. It's not spectacular. It's not blow your mind upgrades or anything like that. I think that getting up to 3, they probably won't have too much of an issue. And then past 3, I could see resistance setting in for the size of the home and based on previous sales as well. Ann Boulevard is 369. It's pretty much land value here. It's 60 by 120 foot lot. Carport, you'll see inside, it's pretty rough. Now, even if somebody were to come in and flip this one, like, could they put 50 in this one and then, you know, sell it for maybe 410 or 420? It's possible. Now, the only thing that would concern me there is that the bedroom sizes. So you've got a master here at 13 by 9 and a 10 by 8 room, and it doesn't look like there's a 3rd bedroom. So I think that you almost need that size in the 3rd bedroom to really make it worthwhile, because you don't want the restriction after you're done flipping a home to be something like, well, I can't fit my family into it, at least when there's other options there. So that's the tricky part about this one is bedrooms. Cleaned up a little bit, maybe getting up around the 400,000 if it was an alternative for somebody to, let's say, living at 100 Millside or a downsizer retirement couple. It could work. It could be something that could work for them. Walk just down the street, you can get to La Rose, you can go to the Sunrise Grill and so on. So within walking distance is some pretty good stuff. Nadlin is 384.9, 1130 square feet. And it's called an Amesbury or a Brennan model. Nice finishes inside. They've done the hardwood on the 2nd floor, which usually doesn't have as strong a return as the main floor. We've seen this model do pretty well. And I'm not sure if they built that other bathroom in. Usually there's only 1 full bathroom upstairs, so they might have customized something. I don't know where the heck they would have fit that, because the upstairs is pretty efficiently laid out. So anyways, so it's unfinished basement. I just look at it, this price range, okay, so you could justify this price for this model. It's still a little bit high, I think. When you can buy at 390, you get a much larger home. But that's the thing, between 550 and 6, functionally they're different homes, but not that different. But you go from 370 to 380, massive difference. We're talking about a whole other room on the main floor. We're talking about another bathroom. We're talking about substantial difference in quality of homes. And every first-time buyer in the world wants to keep their budget as low as possible. That's just, they're value shoppers. Move up buyers are more feature sensitive. First time buyers are more price sensitive. And so what I always encourage our first time buyers to think about is, if this home is only going to work for you for 2 years, from a space requirement standpoint, then it might make sense just to up the budget a bit, not to blow the budget out. But if you're a little conservative on your numbers, to have the ability to pay $10,000 more instead of having to sell this one because you run out of space. And the cost to sell, really, if you sell and buy another home, you got land transfer tax, you got lawyer fees, real estate fees. Very quickly you could be up in the $20,000-$30,000 range just to move to another house. So it can make a lot of sense for somebody just to think a little bit more long-term on their first purchase, and to just maybe buy a little bit more size than what they need, because life and kids and all the rest of it tends to change your needs very, very quickly. So Hobbs Crescent is 439. And so it's a 22 by 125 foot lot, so it looks like a nice sized property. Now, 440 is a lot of money for an attached on both sides townhouse. Excuse me, it's 3 bedrooms, more than 2,000 square feet. Looks like granite counters, 9-foot ceilings on the main floor is a nice thing in a townhouse, and it backs onto a pond. So I definitely am enthusiastic about some of the features with this one. There's no photos, so I can't really say much about it. Usually when we see townhouses at this price point, we're talking about either having a finished basement or being some kind of an end unit or a pie-shaped lot or something. So they have the green space, which is good. Sounds like it's nice inside. And they've got the size definitely at more than 2,000 square feet. So we'll see what happens with it. So lot crescent, semi-detached. Now they've listed it as more than 2,000 square feet. So I think there's a big, if it's more than 2,000 plus the finished basement, I'm a fan of this one. If it's 2,000 total, like 16 upstairs plus 300 or 400 downstairs, I'd say, yeah, probably not. Taking some stuff off the top of here would be a good thing. Take things off the fridge. There's a lot they could have done to really enhance the appearance of this one. I don't find it has a very strong impression going through the photos. It looks like this room here, you've got a kitchen plus the other room just behind it. The thing about this is you walk right through this room, so right away you lose functional square footage, which is, I think, probably more important than raw square footage. And it's just, yeah, to me, the photos don't do it well. And, you know, so it's really just a matter of seeing if the room measurements are, if the 2,000 square feet is reflective of the entire total living space, or what we call official square footage, which is floor space on the main plus a second floor. Laurier is 474.9. Looks like you've got a separate entrance here to a second suite down in the basement. The kitchen is not modernized, but they've darkened the cabinets up. So I think when they did that, one of the things that leads you to believe it's an older cabinet is the handle right in the center. So if you're refinishing these cabinets, I think it's good to fill in those holes and to put a handle either on the side like a bar style, or to do a little bit of a knob. I think would have made a big difference on these ones here. The house looks like it's in good shape. You've got your second suite downstairs, nice sized lot. Laurier is a bit busy, but if you figure you get $600-700 a month from your basement, this home now feels like it's probably carrying for $100,000 less. So you're now carrying for $350 to $375 net. When you look at how much the $600 or $700 subsidizes on a mortgage, and you start to say, you know what, that makes a lot of sense. So if you're willing to have a tenant in here, I think there's a lot of benefits to being in this home. We have talked in Daily Homes about the transition of what's going on this year, about how Ontario has really said to all the municipalities, you got to allow second suites. We need more affordable housing out there. And so all the municipalities, you're almost hearing about the news weekly or monthly, is that they're coming out with guidelines. They're coming out in a lot of cases with some kind of a levy or a fee in order to have a basement suite. And so leading the charge seems to be Brampton and Hamilton, just because of the amount of second suites there, whereas Milton doesn't have quite as many. But we're going to see a lot of things start to change, and a lot of things that are working for Hamilton, let's say, that are going to be adopted by Mississauga, Toronto, Milton, that kind of stuff. So Yates is 529.5, about 1,900 square feet plus a finished basement. If you look at the pictures here, you can check the virtual tour. They're not on this actual listing. The basic home probably sells around 5, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, because Yates is a bit of a busier street, and then you add the value of the finished basement. We've seen some big sales, we've seen some not so good sales, so the detached single car garages have really sold all over the place. It's making it tough to price them, because do you rely on the higher set of information? You know the buyers are looking at the lower set of information, so it's really just about balancing and saying, how much time do I have? Am I willing to try this out? There's not a whole lot of selection right now, so I'm sure that's helping them out. So the pricing is, I can see why they priced it this way. I could also see why a buyer would probably want to negotiate a little bit off of it based on what else is sold. So Trudeau, 586,990. Scotswood, great model. It says it's just under 2,500 square feet. The new version is a little bit bigger. It's called a Huxley, and that's more than 24. This one, as the floor plans go, if I remember correctly, is 2,355. But I do like the layout. You've got a front living dining here. Then you've got your family and kitchen. So it's a good classic open concept floor plan. We just had a Huxley with a finished basement, gorgeous on Winter Crescent, sell for big money, well into the sixes, like close to mid sixes, and that was an absolutely outstanding house. So there is upside here. At 586, I could certainly see somebody come in and do a little bit of work here and there, and very quickly it's worth over $6. So nice. I mean, not a deal, but the home is great, and I think it's a good long-term investment. The area, I mean, you've got a lot of stuff close by to it. Let's go over to, I was just on the other listing, Rose Heath is at 404,888. And so there's no inside photos here. It says it's linked, so it could look almost like a semi from the outside, or it could look almost like a detached. Hard to tell from what they've given us. Maybe the inside isn't so good. I mean, the two reasons why you'd find no inside shots is either the agent can't get in, or maybe they don't have time, or it could be something where there's really nothing good to show on the inside. And so I'm not really sure. It's hard to tell from this. What I do like is that you've got a separate entrance to a basement where potentially you could build an income suite, right? And so there's rules you're going to need to follow. So just continuing with the whole basement suite conversation, you got to comply with the building code, number 1. Number 2, you have to comply with the fire code. Number 3, you have to have enough parking. And there's probably going to be number 4 and 5 coming down. But at least if you go 1, 2, 3, those are going to be the main ones, I think, moving forward. So anyway, so hard to tell for this one here. If you could put a kitchen and bathroom downstairs, if there was room to do it, and you stuck the price around maybe $420 or something like that by the time you were done, so you had to put 10 or 15 in, that's the point where you can start to justify it as an investment property. But you start getting too much higher than that, and the income that you're going to get compared to how much your mortgage and taxes and so on, it just doesn't tend to make a lot of sense. And so the last one is, I really like this one. It's on Whaley Way. It's an upland, 2,300 square feet. And so it's one of those split levels. So you've got a couple stairs up, a couple stairs down to the basement, got a couple stairs up to the family room up here, and then there's some stairs to the bedroom. We'll show you all that stuff. The hanging pots, the thing about hanging pots is that people are going to look, even if it's there for function or just for aesthetics, people are going to be hyper aware of how much storage space you have in the kitchen. And while this one is not grossly deficient in the kitchen, it's also not the best that you can find for this kind of money too. So taking this down and not making people as aware of the cabinet space, I think, is a good thing. So we've got California shutters, dark hardwood floors here. That's your family room on the half level. You wouldn't really be able to watch TV that loud, because what happens, you go up the stairs here and there's your bedrooms. This is the 3-bedroom. I like the 3 a lot better. It just feels like there's some elbow room. The 4-bedroom on this model is very tight, and it's on about a 36 by 88 foot lot. So it's a pretty standard sized lot. Overall, it's not too high up here, so you still get a decent amount of privacy. If the home is lifted up too much, you tend to kind of see everything, and your neighbors can kind of see in over the fence. So overall, I would say this one doesn't look too bad at all. We have seen this model and even the model above, the Winter Grove, go for $580,000, $590,000, even close to $600,000 for homes of this size on this style of lot. So I like this one. I think the price looks pretty good. And it seems like lately a lot of people that we've spoken with have really liked that tiered design. Is they like how it's just a little bit different than a very traditional 2-story home. And anyway, so that's up to the buyers. But I think that these homes definitely walk in, you either love them or you're not that into them. And one of the main things is just how you're going to use that room above the garage, and how the noise might affect the bedroom. So have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow with more Milton Daily Homes. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, give us a call, or send us an email.